Hey there, welcome back to another video for the Demonized Idol RPG. This is Demonized, and in today's video we're going to be going over some useful tips, or rather things I wish I had known when I'd started the game. These are going to be either things that someone or lots of people have complained about, asked about, or just something I noticed that when I finally figured out how something worked, I kind of smacked my forehead because I'd wasted a lot of time and effort for no reason. So let's start with the first tip, rolling stat options. If you come over here to, let's just say, ability, go to your abilities, and you can see I've got auto set turned on, and I've got set options here. So you can go through and hit select. You can choose what rarity you're looking for. I typically go for legendary, and what stat you're looking for. When you turn on auto set and you hit reset, I'll go ahead and show you, it's gonna just start rolling. And it'll keep going and going and going until you land on one of the abilities in your set options. I'll go ahead and stop it. We're not gonna watch that all day. But that is for abilities. Refining items, same thing. Hit the setting icon down here. You can choose what stats you're looking for. Hit confirm. Hit auto refine, and the first option to stop when a refine option is satisfied. This is kind of a segue into another point. When you go to refine an item, you can see over here in my abilities, I can lock these abilities. So that way, whenever I start to roll, my other abilities that are locked, they don't get changed. And therefore, I can get every stat that I'm looking for on this page. On your items, refine, you can't lock them. I'm touching them right now. You can't do that. So best thing to do on your items is just get the one stat that you're looking for. For example, your swords is going to be skill attack percent. If you get all of these locked slots going, you might be able to roll several times to get, hopefully, two stats you're looking for. But you're really just looking for that main stat. Next thing that I wish I knew early on was resurrection chance. So if we tap on my little character profile up here and scroll down, you can see down here at the bottom, resurrection chance 51.8%. So if I'm doing a boss battle and I run out of life, run out of time, there's a 51.8% chance that I will revive with 20% of my HP back and carry on the fight. And what's great about this is it can proc several times in one fight. I think the most I've seen is 3 times in one fight, and I'm still not done raising my resurrection chance as high as I can get it. The other ways to do that are kind of out of reach for me, but it can proc several times, so you want this resurrection chance as high as you can get it. A couple ways to get it is going to be your passives. You go to acquisition info. You can get a maximum of 10%. Where'd it go? Yeah, level 4 resurrection. You can get 10% chance. So there's 4 resurrection passives you can claim. Make sure you grab those whenever you see them. 10% chance to resurrect right there. The other places people are typically getting their resurrection chance from is going to be on your items and your armor. Armor is the only piece of gear that can roll resurrection chance, and the maximum roll is 8. I got lost there for a second. What's great about this is going to segue into the next part of things I wish I knew. Over here on your minions, if you go to your monsters, you can see that my monsters have gear equipped. So not only do you get basically to have 5 swords, 5 helmets, and 5 armor attributes all apply to your character, you can also refine your minion's gear to get stats. So I've got 4 extra pieces of armor, meaning I can roll 4 extra resurrection chances, giving me anywhere from 28 to 32% extra res chance, which is giving me that 51.8%. So resurrection chance is going to be Very, very useful. Do not sleep on it. I know for most everything else on items, you're looking for dexterity. There's a couple items you want a specific stat. Armor is one of them. It needs to be that resurrection chance. For the rest of them, I made an items guide. Go check that out. Kind of to build on that, your showcase, if you go in here and you try to refine these items, I'll just hit the button and you can see, well, my CP didn't change. Nothing went up, nothing went down. Refining items on your showcase here does not actually add to your CP. Don't worry about that. Next up, your mystical power over here. I touched on this in one of my other videos, but I want to reiterate it here. You can see down here at the bottom, final damage extra increase 10%. You can only unlock that if all of your stats are maxed out. As you can see on this page, they're not maxed out here, so I don't have that final damage increase. It's a nice little increase. It adds some damage, but that's going to be late game, something you're striving for. So the only way to get it is to hit the arrow down here, reset the stats, and roll again. But in order to roll all these mystical power stats, you have to use the yellow magic powder. I forget what's called, arcane dust or something, but you have to have this yellow powder. The issue, and they don't tell you this early on, is you need this yellow powder for upgrading your relics. So please, when you notice this, like I did, when I first noticed that, oh, if I get maxed out stats, I get extra final damage, that's great. I can use that to level up. I wasted so much yellow powder. Do not do this. Save it. Just get these stats to as close to max as you can. Normally, just upgrading them once is all you need. Just doing 110 roll is all you need, and they'll get pretty close to maximum. So, save your yellow powder. Do not roll for max stats here until very, very, very in-game. You probably never get there, honestly, so don't worry about it. Okay, probably the biggest tip I've got, I see this all the time. I'm sure you've experienced it as well. This game has a tendency to crash. It can crash quite frequently. I'll never forget the day I was fairly early in my account, and I got lucky and I pulled the Bandit Chief minion. When you get the Bandit Chief, the collection unlocks for him, and you get it's 4,000 some odd dexterity. And I remember I pulled him, and my damage, like my combat power, doubled. I was like, oh my god, it was huge, it was massive. And then I kept pulling minions, and the game crashed. And guess what? When I logged back in, the Bandit Chief was gone. He was gone. If the game crashes and it doesn't have a chance to save, or you save it, whatever progress you just made is gone. And there's nothing more disheartening than that. Sometimes you can't avoid it, but I'm going to help you try to avoid it as much as possible. So I mentioned I pulled the Bandit Chief and I kept pulling. If you are going through your summon here and, like I say, you draw an attack skill and you see something popped up, you get a mythic attack skill, you're like, oh my god, yes, that's awesome. I've been looking for it, waiting for it. Forgive me, another phone call. You pull an attack skill, a mythic skill, let's say, and you know, it's great, it's awesome, you get hyped up. Go ahead and stop the draw that you're working on. Run over here to menu as soon as you can. Go down to option and data save on server. This is a manual save. Click it and you'll see data save succeeded. Whatever you just pulled is now saved to your account on the server. You're not going to lose it. Another thing in here is going to be, where is it? Auto save mode. Turn this on. I don't know if they fixed it, but for me it was off by default. Turn this on so the game does auto save. I don't know when it auto saves, but I haven't had to worry about it. I've kind of made it second nature to anytime I make any change on my account, I'll come in here and manually data save on server, just because it's still gonna happen. You can't avoid it sometimes. The devs are working to make it as stable as they can, but the game will crash. sometimes you might lose, that one pull you just got. It is what it is. It's disheartening, but we move on. We keep grinding. We'll get it back. But if you have the opportunity, absolutely. For instance, up here, if I beat a boss, I get to the next stage, I immediately come over and save, because it's happened before where it's crashed. I come back and that boss I just beat, it never happened. I got to do it again. And at this point, I'm relying on RNG to pass these bosses. So it's another 20 or 30 runs until I can beat him again. So that's probably the biggest tip, is coming over here and you can actually manually save your data and make sure that your autosave is turned on. So these are just a few things I wish I knew when I started. I hope they helped you. If they did, please let me know. If you have other tips for other people, things that you wish you knew, leave them in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.